Creating a multimedia essay is easy using a website called Storify. Instructions for signing up for a free Storify account are included in this unit. This video is going to focus on the steps you will go through to turn your technical description into a multimedia essay. First of all, you want to make sure that you got the content essay revised and ready to go. So pull it up in Word, have it there where you can find it easily. And then we're going to start by clicking on New Story. Alright, now we're going to enter a headline, which is going to be your title. And that would be okay, you really don't need a description here. So go down here and you're going to type in your first headline, which is introduction. What you can do is you want to make your headlines consistent. Highlight. Click H for headline and B for bold. Then another text box will pop up automatically when you click. Go down to your document. Copy your introduction. Back to Storify. Paste. And it looks like you're good to go. Then you go on and you hit enter and go down to your next headline, which is what is heartworm disease? Headlines are important, and the question and answer headline works well with this because it keeps the reader engaged and it keeps your focus. So feel free to use that. So we're going to go back on Storify. We're going to do a second headline. Sometimes funky things come up, in which case just kind of fix them. Again, we're going to want to make any corrections as you go if you see it. And highlight, header, bold. Now we're ready for the next section. Copy. Paste is plain text, makes it a little bit easier. You get less funky things come up. I learned that the hard way. Alright, so now I've got what is heart disease. I'll do one more section here and then we'll add some graphics. So I'm going to go back into here. Got my next question written. Add my headline. Get a header, make it bold, and add my content. Alright, now you continue doing this until you have all of your content into text boxes and all of your headlines written and formatted. Now it's time to have some fun adding photos and graphics. You want to choose your photos, all your photos carefully, but in particular your first photo, because that becomes the cover photo for the essay. So if you look over on your toolbar over here on the right, there's a lot of options on where you can find extra materials. Google is always a good place to start. So if you click on Google and you click on images, and I'm going to type in beagle because I want a cute picture of a beagle as my cover photo. So I type in beagle and I get pictures of cute beagles. So I'm just going to take this photo and all I got to do is drag it. I'm going to drag it right above my introduction. That's going to become the cover photo. Now what you want to try to do is carefully choose the photos that you're going to add or the graphics. We learned in our last lesson on graphics and design that photos and graphics add much to a document design. So I would suggest that you try to find one graphic or photo for each section. You want to mix up the graphics and the photos, and you want to let your purpose designate which you're going to choose. For example, for my next section, I want to find a graphic that illustrates what a heartworm looks like when it's inside a dog's heart muscle. And I'm going to add that kind of graphic. It can be a picture or it could be a graphic illustration type thing, depending. So let's take a look and see what I come up with when I type it in. So I'm going to type in heartworm. And I get choices here. Now, I would strongly suggest that, don't just click the first thing and pull it over there. Take a look at it, choose it carefully, make sure it's going to help the reader understand more about what you're doing. All right. I had a picture in here that I did like, so I'm going to just drag this over here. It's going to fit my definition of heartworm disease. So you can see the heartworms very clearly there. All right, now my next section is how does a dog contract this disease? Now I want a graphic. I want a graphic that shows the life cycle of a heartworm. And I think there's one right here I found earlier, so I'm going to put this right there, and that shows the way and that's more of a graphic as opposed to a photo. So you can continue doing this until you've got something that helps the reader understand each one of your sections. So once you get all your graphic information down, we're going to do one more thing, and we are going to actually find some extra information. This is one of the great things about a multimedia essay. When you write your essay in Word and you want to show the reader other places to go, you'd have to do a link. And if it's a hard copy, that link is, you're not sure they're ever going to go there. What's good about this is it gives you the opportunity to add information. So what you want to add here is, if you go to web and I type in heartworm, I would look for an article that I would think would help people understand a little bit more about heartworm disease. Information, you don't want to repeat information that's not really included in my summary. So maybe facts and myths would be good. So you would want to research this. Don't just plunk anything you see in there, but I'll put that down there. That's one article. Let's have an article on treatment. All right, now let's look for some videos, because some people might rather get the information through a video. If you go here and you click on YouTube and you type in heartworm, you're going to get videos. Let's do a heartworm prevention. Now you can stick these videos, once you get them in here, perhaps I'd rather have this video up here in my prevention section. It's easy, just pick it up and move it. But for right now, I'm putting them all at the end. All right, so I've got my video, and then I'm pretty much done. All right, I've got my, there are certain requirements. There's so many videos you have to have, and you want to explain what these things are. So you would want to put in some information. The following article talks about, and then maybe a little summary of the article so that they know what it is, or the following video. And you want to do the same thing with your graphics. You want to explain what your graphic is doing. All right, once you get that done, I would proof it very carefully, but you can always go back and edit. Click Publish. And then it'll say Story published successfully, view and publicize it. Click on that. And now you've got, there's my cute little picture of my beagle, my introduction, my picture of the worms, my graphic, and my links. Then when you turn this in, you would be sending, this is the URL, and that's what you would post in Canvas under the assignment link. So now I want to take a look at a finished product and show you what it looks like. So here's one that I did last semester, and I want to view it. So here was my final copy of this one, and I have a nice little pit bull here, cute little dog. Introduction: what is heartworm disease? What causes heartworm disease? What are the symptoms? How is it diagnosed? What is the treatment? How can I protect my dog? And then here's my additional information. And if you look here, you can see by this diagram how heartworms are killed in the infected dog. You want to give the reader information about the graphic to help them really understand what it is you're trying to say. So I hope this helps. I hope you enjoy this assignment. I think that this is one of the greatest tools I've found. Actually, it was turned on to me by a couple of colleagues, and I really do think it's a great experience. Students have used it. It's easy to use, and you have a really nice product when you're done. So that ends this lesson on Storify, and the next video will show you how to create the same type of document, but we're going to be using Word. And it's up to your instructor on which way you need to do this assignment. So have a great one.